Protestants and Catholics need to stop bickering and focus on the real enemy.
The Jews.
No, that's the Jehovah's Witness.
The Jehovah's Witness. Welcome to Yes or No, the bibulous battle to discover who knows whom better. My guest today is Nick Freitas, a former U.S. Army Green Beret, current Virginia State delegate. How do we play? I will ask Nick a yes or no question. He will select his answer away from my prying eyes. Then I'll guess how he answered. If I guess correctly, I get a point. If I guess incorrectly, I lose a point. No matter what, I will probably drink. Then it's Nick's turn. Neither of us has seen the questions beforehand. Whoever has the most points at the end wins. The stakes could be higher. Let's get started. Nick, thank you for being here.
Pleasure, Michael, pleasure.
I often have a wager at the top of this show, but I'm going to let the audience in on this.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. I was out late last night. We're drinking martinis and what is it?
Just bourbon on the rocks.
Tennessee mimosa.
Yeah.
At about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, allegedly.
So I don't know. The only thing I can even think to wager, and it's something I think you'll appreciate, is a box of my beautiful Mayflower cigars.
Oh gosh, you're too kind.
Now I don't know. Do you have a wager?
I'll tell you what. So you have revealed, and I'm now going to reveal to the world, you don't own a pistol.
I don't own a pistol. That's embarrassing.
You will get a pistol of my choosing.
Wow. All right.
Now it may have some bling on it. I don't know. It could be something embarrassing, right? Or you could get something really cool and tactical. But I think that's a fair. I would feel bad if I left you.
Wow. I'm honored.
Without a pistol.
And listen, if you feel gypped or anything at the end, you can always give me a cap gun or something.
Yeah.
You know, just like a little flag
I didn't
pops
say what
out.
kind.
Yeah.
I didn't say this could get really bad for you.
All right. So if you were a lady, I would say you go first. But we're men.
But you're the lady. So.
I'm the lady. Yeah, that's right. If I don't own a pistol, yeah, certainly. Okay. Is Jasmine Crockett more dangerous than AOC? I need to guess how you will answer. Is Jasmine Crockett more dangerous than AOC? Let's say you would say no. Correct.
That's correct.
Why not?
AOC is actually much better
Yeah.
at the public-facing component of this. Jasmine Crockett is very loud, but she also is far easier to caricature, which is saying something because AOC is incredibly easy to caricature, but I actually think she's much more charismatic and she's much more politically savvy than Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
So.
AOC, this is not 2018 anymore. AOC has grown. She's gotten better at this. She's also obviously running for president.
Yes.
And she's doing it relatively well, actually.
Yeah, she's running to be the last president of the Soviet Socialist Republic of the United States. Yeah, absolutely. So now we both have to drink? Is that how this works?
Yes, we both get to drink.
All right, that sounds good, yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
You're up.
Okay. The clearest sign that we live in a new political paradigm is that conservatives are now the ones who love electric cars.
How would I answer? I need to figure out how I would answer first
Yes.
before you can guess how I would answer.
Yeah. I was about to guess. I was like, he hasn't pushed a button yet. I'm not doing this crap. He's going to change his mind. Yeah, I think you would say no to that.
You got me.
Yeah.
You got me. It's close, but I would say the clearest sign for me that we're in a new political paradigm, the clearest sign is that a Kennedy is serving in the Republican administration. 2 Democrat presidential candidates are actually in this administration. But the second clearest, the cultural sign, all the weird, crunchy, hippie moms are on the right.
Yeah.
They used to be very firmly on the left, but the hippies are on the right.
Yeah. If you are free range educating your children while making sourdough, it's like you are hardcore.
You're a fascist.
Oh yeah.
You are you are a Francisco Franco following black shirt having fascist. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So I agree. I think the electric cars, that's definitely not something I saw coming.
Yeah.
I still make fun of my friends who possess them, but not the weirdest.
Right. Okay. All right. Before I state this prompt, we have to watch a video.
Okay.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I don't care what these feds say, Epstein definitely didn't kill himself. I have to guess how you would answer.
Yeah.
It's actually phrased in a difficult way because you say, yes, I don't care what these feds say, Epstein killed himself, or no. I can't tell if it's like a double negative, no.
I would say that a yes would be agreeing with the statement, a no would be disagreeing.
Got it.
I mean, I'm happy to explain how your game works to you.
Thank you. I could use every episode. I need it. You don't think Epstein killed himself?
I absolutely do not think he killed himself.
Here's my hang-up. I don't know Kash Patel personally.
Yeah.
I've heard good things. I just don't know him. I do know Dan Bongino. I've known Dan Bongino for years.
Yeah.
I don't think Dan would lie.
Yeah.
Now, he could have. It's possible he got it wrong. He read a report. Maybe he's insinuating that Epstein was allowed to kill himself or what. But I don't know what to think. I'm confident Dan would not lie.
Yeah.
I just don't know Kash.
Yeah.
But it is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty certain he didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Oh yeah, no. Again, I don't claim to be drinking buddies with either one of them. I've met Kash. I've never met Dan. I think both of them have always struck me as trustworthy guys and willing to say unpopular things when they believe it is true. So I'm not accusing either one of them of lying.
But lying implies intention.
Yes.
They could have just gotten it wrong.
Yes. Yeah. That and when Kash goes through this whole thing of like as a public defender, as a prosecutor, as this, okay. Well, as a guy that know that politicians love to cover their own ass, right? There's no way that dude killed himself, right? Or even if it was one of those things, because here's the deal. You can't technically, at least in my world, kill yourself under duress. So if it's one of those issues, killing yourself in the way I kind of, the purest, that sounds horrible, right? But the form of it's I don't want to necessarily do, or I want to die and so I'm killing myself.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think Epstein wanted to die. And even if he's the one, like let's say he physically caused himself to die, I don't think that was because that's what Jeff had planned that afternoon.
Yeah. That is a very intimidating analysis coming from a Green Beret. Like, Michael, I want to make a distinction here. You can't really kill yourself under duress. All right, you're up.
Okay.
I think we get to drink now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Jeff didn't freaking kill himself. All right. Oh, well, here we go. We also have a video prompt first.
Okay.
For this, so go ahead.
I can't believe this crap. 22 years of marriage, 3 kids, 2 combat deployments, and my wife sits down today and tells me she doesn't love me anymore.
That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
I said I think it's time to shave the beard.
It's the same damn thing.
Okay. With 1 year of fully committed facial hair cultivation, you, Michael Knowles, could grow a beard.
Okay, with 1 year.
1 year. Committed.
Yes.
Committed.
There's no.
There may be ointments.
Yeah, there
may be some
just
like
for men gel.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
No shaving on Sundays. Okay.
I don't think you even believe that.
Wow. Little faith that we have. All right. So what could happen?
Yeah.
I've got a sweet little baby face here. I can grow a mustache in about 45 minutes. The mustache I've had since I was like 11 or something.
Yeah.
But the beard, I've always struggled. So over the decades, the huge patches, they've shrunk down, but then I still get, even today, I'm 35 years old, I have 3 boys.
Yeah.
I still get the little patch here, I get the little patch here, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't, so what it really comes down to, not to sound like Bill Clinton, it depends on what the definition of the word beard is. Because if you're saying, are you saying, could I have a beard without a single patch anywhere?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Michael, let me help you.
Yeah.
The definition of a beard, you have before
Is that,
you.
I know, that's a
And
glorious.
this is lower scale. So
Yeah.
the funniest thing, there's
I bet you shaved yesterday. Yeah,
well,
you just sort of popped
like
that,
all
sprouted
the, see,
overnight.
all the razors used to break until I used Jeremy.
Yeah.
Right? But, so when I was in Iraq,
Yeah.
all right. So because in Afghanistan, a lot of guys grew beards. In Iraq, we grew big mustaches because it was cultural differences.
Right. You wanted the full Saddam.
Oh, I had a massive mustache. Like this thing was so far out of rigs, it wasn't funny, and also my Portuguese genes means I also have like two huge eyebrows that are constantly trying to fuse, and so my joke is like, oh no, I don't have one mustache. I have my eyebrows
three.
are actually backup mustaches in case we ever got to go to war on 3 continents. You're welcome. Yeah.
That seems like a better post then. If you're thinking about the global war on terror, and you're strictly judging it by the facial hair.
Yeah.
Less itchy, way cooler.
Yeah.
You feel like Tom Selleck in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or Saddam.
Yeah, yeah.
Who had drip. For all his flaws, the guy had drip.
My nickname to the Iraqis was Abu Shwab, which is father of mustache, because like I'm telling you, this thing was massive. My wife, my beautiful bride Tina, does not mind facial hair.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
she saw a picture of that, she's like, baby, that doesn't come home with you.
That's too
That
much.
does not come home with you.
You
right.
got-
You're gonna end up on Dateline with that thing.
Yeah,
like,
no,
that does
you
not come
don't.
home. Yeah.
Did you? So luckily you didn't have to shave it all though, because I assume you had Saddam here, and then it was like Uday,
Yeah.
Hussein. So
Oh, it
I'm
was-
keeping these at least.
Yeah, I got to keep those.
That's good.
But those even got trimmed down a little bit. Yeah, just like Uday.
Just like
Before we go on, you stop what you're doing, you go to helixsleep.com/Knowles. I've told you for a while about how my little boy is soon going to be switching from a crib to a bed, how I was thinking about treating him, indulging him with a Helix mattress. Well, the time is now, my friends. My little toddler, his beautiful Helix mattress, is being shipped. And he is going to be so excited. I just don't want to spoil him. But it's so good. I want my kids to have the very best. I figure I've had my Helix mattress for 5 years now or something like that. Why not give the children the same privilege? They don't just sell you a random mattress at Helix. They match you with the perfect one for your body and sleep style. Whether you're a side sleeper, a back sleeper, somewhere in between, they got you covered. You take the sleep quiz, find your ideal match. It is a real comfy mattress. I don't know how else to put it, okay? Right now is the perfect time to upgrade your sleep because Helix has a fantastic Memorial Day sale. Go to helixsleep.com/Knowles, get 27% off site-wide, plus a free bedding bundle, which includes a sheet set and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/Knowles, 27% off site-wide, plus a free bedding bundle with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. That is helixsleep.com/Knowles. Start sleeping better tonight.
Now that censorship has been lifted, can we finally admit the 2020 election was rigged? And I'm not talking about Trump versus Biden. I mean Freitas versus Spanberger. Wow. What would you say? I think you would say no.
No.
Because, you know why? Because no politician ever
Yeah.
would publicly say the election was rigged, even though every single election is rigged because of all the shenanigans that go on in we're talking party committees, we're
Yeah.
talking up to the general, there's
Yeah.
always shenanigans. This was the advice FDR gave to LBJ when LBJ lost his first big race. He said, oh, buddy, you forgot to sit on the ballot box. You
Yeah.
blew it.
Yeah.
But so you would say, no, it wasn't rigged.
What people generally mean when they say rigged is illegal voting.
Yes.
That's what they mean. Now, if you want to go through the whole idea that and I was there when they did it, where they changed all of the election laws in Virginia during a special election, which legally they should not have done.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about all of the other, crazy, there's one thing that always gives me pause in my particular election. And that was, we were winning on election night, we're winning election morning. I can't remember when exactly it was, day of or day before. A thumb drive An unmarked thumb drive shows up in the bluest county in the district with 15,000 votes. Now, the voter ID numbers matched up,
Okay.
but some chain of custody issues there.
Yeah, that's curious.
I once had a reporter sit down and talk about, was the election rigged and what? And I said, look, there's a lot of shady stuff that went on. We were talking about Trump. And she goes, well, I just think this is irresponsible. I said, can I ask you a question? Yeah. If Nick Freitas, right, was behind in the polls on election night, was behind in the tally on election night, behind the next day, behind in the afternoon, and then all of a sudden,
a thumb
drive shows up that, golly gee willikers, we just mismarked. In my home district that is 64% Trump, and all of a sudden I won. Would you have written an article on that?
So that's different.
Yeah, I probably would have. Yeah. But you won't on this one, will you? And that's why you're a fraud, right? So, yeah.
That whole thing, it was so amazing because the Democrats had to keep up the ruse.
Yeah.
That there was no question about extending election day to election season and months and moving these ballot boxes, these drop-off boxes, even illegally. First of all, they shouldn't exist in the first place.
Yeah.
But second of all, moving them in some cases illegally far away from county clerks with money that came from big tech and Mark Zuckerberg through these left-wing orgs. I mean, point after point, opening yourself up to fraud.
I'm going to say this. I'm not saying it's not possible that I lost due to fraud. I'm saying that until I have definitive evidence on something like that,
you don't want to look
I'm
like
not
a sore
willing.
loser.
I know.
Well,
It's not even a sore loser. It's just I don't like. I'm big on take responsibility.
Yes.
I can point to all the things that, hey, we could have done this better, we could have done this better, we could have done that better. So I'm going to focus on things I can control.
Yeah. That was like Nixon, and I think it's the respectable, manly thing to do. But Nixon, who very possibly had a presidential election stolen from him, and then had the presidency stolen from him by dirty, rotten, deep state actors.
Yeah.
And this guy never complained about it. He just would. He kind of took his lumps,
He stepped down. I wouldn't say he never complained.
I'm sure he privately complained.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he never went out there. This was a rigged election in 1960, or these guys threw me. He did his one big interview with Frost, and he just took it like a man. And you just think that guy. That was like the trial run for 2020. All right.
Protestants and Catholics need to stop bickering and focus on the real enemy,
The Jews.
the Amish.
Oh, the Amish. Wait, hold on.
So we're still targeting Germans. That's
That's good. Okay, all right. The Amish. Oh. Wow, I have strong feelings in both directions on this. So I don't want you to think I'm just trying to cheat you out of a point and get a sweet pistol, though I'd like that too. This is a reluctant answer. The reason I almost said yes is the Amish are Anabaptists.
Yeah.
Means second baptism. And I was once debating this with a Protestant friend of mine, and he said, Michael, we were talking about infant baptism, and some people don't like infant baptism, I think you should be even baptized again as an adult. And he said, well, I'm a Protestant, but I don't think that, because the Holy Spirit acts in baptism, and I think, to take it far, to be provocative, I think it could be a blaspheming of the Holy Spirit to be baptized a second time, because you're denying the efficacy of the first. We confess one baptism for the forgiveness of sins. I said, wow, that is some harsh Amishophobia. That is some anti-Anabaptist rhetoric. But the reason that the Amish are not the true enemies of Western civilization is because they are showing an example of a kind of trad life. The horses and buggies, the great wooden furniture, they raise a barn in like 3 seconds, big families.
Oh, that's my
They
biggest.
got drip. It's awesome.
No, the best thing about the Amish is they have demonstrated what a absolute sham building regulations are. I mean, like, a barn goes down in Amish country, it's up the next day. Why? No unions, no permits. It's like Jedediah just comes over with all his buddies. Boom, that thing's back up. I mean, look, there's a lot of reasons to appreciate the Amish, even though I might not agree with them theologically on things. But are they the primary enemy? No, that's the Jehovah's Witness.
The Jehovah's Witness. It's like every time I want to celebrate a birthday party,
Right?
they come in there and tell me I can't.
And never once have I had two Amish people just show up to my door and want to talk to me in the middle of the game.
They never want to talk to me. No.
It's like this is...
You know, the Amish, too, they, in modernity, they just show you. It's like you can have a family.
Yeah.
You can have nice things.
Yeah.
You can dress like a respectable person. It can happen.
Yeah. And
We're
as
not-
far as and my daughter's like, and they have horses. So
Right.
she was sold
You're
there.
right. Yeah,
She
you're
was
right.
sold there.
Am I being drawn to Amishism? I don't think, is that even a word? You know, folks, if you want to play this game at home, you can do so by going to dailywire.com/shop. You can get the yes or no game. You can get the expansion pack, the conspiracy theory expansion pack, the philosophy, politics, and religion expansion pack. If you're feeling saucy, you can get the relationships, the erotic, not erotic, I don't want to overstate it, okay? It's totally wholesome, but it's about, you know, amor. It is time now. Should I warn them that Nick does not come with the game? You have to order him separately.
I come with the erotic one.
Nick, are you ready for the rapid fire round?
All right, let's do this thing.
See that? We even changed the lights. That's how you know it's serious.
We've upped the stakes.
There are 3 questions, 30 seconds, no time to outthink each other. So I read that prompt, you're going to throw down your answer. I'm going to guess. And we're gonna...
Okay.
Is it, the clock's going. Is it true what they say about the Navy? You would say yes, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No one should put their kids in public school. You would say yes? Yeah, okay, all right. I didn't know if there was something like, well, actually, in this one county, and
No.
Raising daughters is harder than raising sons. Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, without question. All right, whew. All right. It's probably not, it's not easier for the first, like, 3.5 years of life, but then every day after that, it's got to be much harder,
Here's
right?
the crazy part. Like my girls were easy the whole way. The thing is that for a dad, what constitutes harder is what we worry about more.
Yes.
And with my son, like it was just like,
He's
oh,
gonna break his neck.
you got hurt.
Yeah.
Try not being a wuss. Like, what do you want to like? Be more competent. Like, what? With my girls, like I'm like, oh no, you know, sweet pea. Like, are you okay? You know, like sweetheart. Yeah. And then you have to worry about like the boys out there that you might have to kill. But yeah, no, all this. It's yeah. Wow, that seems. I don't know. That seems.
It's kind of like the
easy.
drinks, though. When you say the boys out there you might have to kill as a father of daughters.
Yeah.
Isn't it more like the guys out there you might get to kill? You know?
Yeah, no, I have one of my more famous coffee mugs is the whole the hardest part about having daughters is having to bury the bodies. Yeah. And then it's like, just kidding, it's not that hard.
Okay, shovel. Okay.
I kind of feel like you got some really easy ones there. All right. Here we go. Can you be a trad wife if you are actively on social media? I actually think you would say yes.
No! Let's go!
Michael would last more than 3 days in Green Beret training. So I feel like I can answer this authoritatively, like on whether or not you could. I think you're going to try to be humble and say no, but I honestly think it's yes.
Do you think I could?
Yes.
I'm happy that I lost that point.
Yeah.
I guess
Because
you
the
lost
first
that
3
point, but
days are more like orientation and paperwork. You'd be fine.
You just check into your locker, fluff your pillow. Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's cute. You think we get pillows? All right. This isn't the Navy, Michael. All right. Congressmen should have to smoke a blunt at least once before voting on weed decriminalization. I'm going to say you'd say no on that.
I would say no. They should be forced to smoke Mayflower cigars
I
every
figured.
day at their
I
own
figured.
cost, regardless
I
of
figured.
legislation.
Wow. Well, I got crushed in that.
You did, but the questions were easier for me.
Oh, yeah, I figured.
They were easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really wanted a pistol.
And you think that I could survive the first 3? I could at least survive the bus ride. That's great.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take it.
day
Yeah,
one.
That's good. All right. That's great. Now, Nick,
Yeah.
it is time for the final round.
Okay. Now you can. Now it's time.
The prompt will be read. We will both lock in our answers. And then we will move our glasses, the opposite glass, to yes or no, based on how we think the other person would answer. This round is worth double points It could change everything. So who's winning?
You.
I am. Oh, let's go. Let's go! Oh, man. I'm going to get the nicest cap gun that Walmart has to offer. This is great. The war in Gaza will end before the war in Ukraine. We have to answer how we would individually answer, then move our cups.
Okay.
Now hold on. Let's set up the cups here. Right here in this, right here on the center. You would say.
You know what? That wouldn't have spilled if you were actually drinking.
I know,
Like,
that's more embarrassing
good.
than not having a pistol.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know this. I could survive the first 3 days of Green Beret training. I don't know if you know that.
I heard that somewhere.
I just want to show, I am humiliated.
Yeah.
Nick has actually done the job and had most of the Tennessee mimosa. And me, at this rate, I'm never going to get to my olives, which is the breakfast.
So yeah, we both said, I believe no, and I think you would say
For sure.
Yeah.
The war in Gaza is going to go on until the apocalypse.
Yes.
And the war in Ukraine, it'll go on for a while. You know, people have been fighting over Ukraine for like 1,100 years.
Sure.
But there are periods of peace. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's my.
No. Gaza's not ending until Jesus comes back to tell us all that the Protestants were right.
Yeah. That the Amish were right. Yeah. Like, wow, the Mennonites, huh? I didn't have that on my card. Wow, okay.
The Anabaptists. That's
All right, now you're up.
Okay, all right. Come on, this isn't even a question.
Yeah.
If you have sons, you have an obligation to show them a father who is strong both mentally and physically.
Shut up, Davies. I'm
my
sick of
God,
this.
give
Every
me a
time on this
break.
show, Davies makes some. Yeah.
What a freaking, here we go. There we go.
Yes, you do. And my kids are going to get that because I almost beat my associate producer in an arm wrestle on the air the other day.
And-
so take that, Davies.
And could potentially survive 3 days of
3
Green
days.
Beret.
That's the bus ride.
I mean, not consecutive. Like the
Yeah.
first day, the last day of graduation.
And maybe you could cobble together 24 hours in the middle, mostly sleeping.
Yeah.
I would say maybe eating. I don't know.
Although I got to say, I think it's with the way things are going right now, because every time, because Hollywood always likes to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think eventually Hollywood will agree with that statement. And the bizarre, unique thing for an actress to do in Hollywood will be to walk out. They're bold and beautiful, heteronormative, cisgender child with no mental health issues. It's like, we named him John with a J.
It's He's
what the rest of
neurotypical.
He's so brave, and we support him.
It's true. Everything old is new again at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick, I am really pleased.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased. I don't
you are.
want to be a sore winner here, and one might wonder if it was rigged, some of those questions. But I would say my request, I would like a fully semi-automatic assault weapon that is, being produced by every public school in America, handed out to children with their chocolate milk for lunch.
Yeah.
The Democrats told me that's the coolest gun to have.
I promise you will have a weapon of war with a grenade launcher, a flamethrower, and
great. I can't wait. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nick,
My
good to see
pleasure.
you.
You as well.
Now, so that you don't miss more magnificent content and insightful takes, you need to go follow Nick Freitas on YouTube and Instagram at Nick J. Freitas. Check out this clip.
Here's a little airport fun fact for you. The penalty for having lint in your pockets at an airport security checkpoint is an incredibly thorough and hands-on investigation of anything close to your pockets. Yeah, and say what you want about the tactics, I will never again casually assume that I don't have lint in my pockets. On the bright side, as soon as I get home back to the wife, we're going to play TSA.
Oh, and Michael, I was thorough. She looked pretty terroristy to me.
Ma'am? Look at my mustache. Go check him out. Nick Freitas, YouTube, Instagram, MySpace, AOL Instant Messenger, LiveJournal, Zanga, Usenet. See you next time.